There are moments in life when the heart grows heavy, when prayers feel like they are rising but not returning, when silence surrounds you so deeply that you begin to question everything. You wonder, has Allah forgotten me? But what if that silence is not abandonment, but a form of divine communication? What if in the very moments you feel unseen, Allah is actually closer than ever before? This reminder is for the tired heart, the waiting soul, and the believer who is holding on even when it feels like everything is slipping away. There are moments when the silence feels louder than any answer you were hoping for. You raise your hands, you whisper your du'as, you wait, and nothing seems to change. The days pass, the nights feel longer, and deep inside your heart a question begins to grow. If Allah is there, why does it feel like He is not responding? But understand this carefully, silence from Allah is not absence. It is not abandonment, it is not neglect. It is a different form of response, one that does not always come in words or immediate outcomes, but in ways that are deeper, more precise, and perfectly timed. Because Allah sees what you cannot see. He knows what you do not know. While you are focused on what is missing, Allah is focused on what is necessary. While you are asking for something now, Allah is looking at your entire life, your past, your present, and your future, and aligning things in a way that will not break you later. Sometimes, if Allah were to answer you immediately, it would not be a mercy, it would be a burden. Sometimes what you are asking for, in the condition you are in right now, could harm you more than help you. But you cannot see that yet. So Allah, in His infinite wisdom, withholds not to deprive you, but to protect you. And in that silence, something powerful is happening within you. Your reliance is being tested. Your sincerity is being purified. Your connection is being deepened beyond just words. Because it is easy to feel close to Allah when everything is going your way, but true closeness is built when you continue to turn to Him, even when it feels like there is no response. Silence teaches you to seek Allah, not just His answers. It teaches you to love Him, not just what He can give you. It shifts your focus from the gift to the giver. And that is where the real transformation begins, when your heart no longer depends on outcomes to feel connected, but finds peace simply in knowing that Allah is there, watching, listening, and fully aware of every tear you have tried to hide. Because even in the quiet, even in the waiting, even in the moments where you feel most alone, Allah is closer than you can comprehend, listening to every unspoken word, counting every silent tear, and responding in ways that your heart will only understand when the time is right. There is a misunderstanding that often settles into the heart during difficult times. That hardship is a sign that something is wrong between you and Allah, that maybe you have been pushed away, that maybe you are being ignored or even punished without purpose. But the reality is far deeper than that, because the tests you face are not evidence of rejection, they are signs of divine attention. When Allah tests you, it is not because He has forgotten you, it is because He is focusing on you. Out of all His creation, your situation is being carefully measured, your life is being intentionally shaped, and your heart is being guided through a process that is designed specifically for you. Tests are not random, they are precise. They come with purpose, timing, and wisdom that goes beyond what you can immediately understand. Think about it, ease does not always transform a person, but difficulty does. Comfort rarely forces you to reflect, but pain makes you pause, makes you think, makes you turn inward and upward. And in those moments, when everything else feels uncertain, you begin to call upon Allah in a way that is more sincere, more desperate, and more real than ever before. That sincerity, that raw connection, is something that ease alone could never produce. Allah is not trying to break you. He is trying to build you. Every test carries within it an opportunity to rise, to grow, to become stronger in faith, clearer in purpose, and deeper in trust. But that growth cannot happen without pressure. Just like something valuable is refined through heat, your character, your patience, and your reliance on Allah are being refined through what you are going through right now. And sometimes the very thing you see as a hardship is actually a protection in disguise. Doors close not because you are unworthy, but because something behind that door is not meant for you. Plans fall apart not because your life is falling apart, but because Allah is redirecting you towards something better, something you could not have planned on your own. When you begin to understand that tests are a form of attention, your perspective changes. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start realizing, what is Allah preparing me for? Because He does not test without purpose, and He does not put weight on your shoulders without knowing that you have the capacity, with His help, to carry it. So even in the difficulty, even in the confusion, even in the moments where you feel overwhelmed, Remind yourself that this is not neglect, this is not abandonment. This is Allah working on you, shaping you, elevating you in ways that cannot happen without the very test you are trying to escape. One of the heaviest feelings a person can carry is the weight of waiting. You make dua, you believe. You try to stay patient, but time passes and what you are asking for still does not arrive. Slowly, doubt begins to whisper into your heart, telling you that maybe it is not meant for you, or worse, that maybe your soyin is not being accepted at all. But you must understand this truth: deeply delay is not denial. What you are waiting for has not been rejected, it has been scheduled. And that timing is not based on your urgency, it is based on Allah's perfect knowledge of when it will truly be ye for you. Because if everything came to you the moment you asked for it, you would receive things before you were ready to handle them. You would step into blessings without the strength to carry them, into opportunities without the wisdom to sustain them, into positions that could overwhelm you instead of elevate you. So Allah, in His mercy, holds things back, not to deprive you, but to prepare you. While you are waiting, something is happening within you. Your patience is being stretched. Your trust is being deepened. Your reliance is shifting away from people and circumstances and being anchored directly in Allah. That process is not easy, but it is necessary because the person you are becoming is just as important as the blessing you are asking for. And there are things happening around you that you cannot see. Situations are being arranged, people are being moved, paths are being cleared, and obstacles are being removed in ways that are beyond your awareness. If what you asked for came too early, it could collide with things that are not yet in place. But when it comes at the right time, it will fit into your life in a way that makes sense, in a way that brings peace instead of chaos. Sometimes the delay is also a test of your sincerity. Do you only turn to Allah when you need something immediately? Or do you continue to call upon Him even when the answer takes time? Do you trust Him only when things are easy? Or do you trust Him even when you do not understand what He is doing? Because true faith is not built on instant results, it is built on unwavering trust. The delay you are experiencing is not empty space, it is filled with wisdom, filled with preparation, filled with unseen that is quietly unfolding in your life. And one day, when what you have been waiting for finally arrives, you will realize that if it had come any earlier, it would not have been as complete, as beneficial, or as perfectly placed as it is now. Because Allah does not just give, He gives at the right time in the right way, and with a wisdom that only becomes clear after you have walked through the very delay that once made you question everything. There are moments when you pour your open EW into dua, when your words are sincere, your eyes fill with tears, and your hands are raised with hope, yet nothing in your external situation seems to change. It can make you feel as if your sayu has not gone anywhere, as if it has been lost in the distance, unheard and unanswered. But you must hold firmly to this truth. Every single dua you make is heard. Not one word escapes Allah's knowledge. Not one whisper is ignored. Even the zaveen you struggle to say, the ones that stay trapped in your chest, the emotions you cannot even put into words, Allah knows them completely. The issue is never whether your seeing is heard. The reality is that the response of Allah does not always appear in the form you expect. You are looking for immediate results, visible change, something you can point to and say, this is the answer. But Allah's response can come in ways that are hidden, delayed, or even redirected towards something better than what you originally asked for. Sometimes your dua is being answered by giving you exactly what you asked for, but at the perfect time. Sometimes it is being answered by removing something harmful that you did not even realize was coming your way. And sometimes it is being answered by storing a greater reward for you in the akhirah, something far more valuable than anything this dunya could ever offer. And while you are waiting, your dua is not just sitting still. It is doing something to you. It is strengthening your connection with Allah. It is softening your heart. It is reminding you again and again that there is one who is always listening, always near, always aware of your situation, even when no one else understands it. Think about how many times you have turned to Allah in your weakest moments. Those moments of vulnerability, of honesty, of complete dependence, they are not small, they are powerful, they are beloved. And Allah does not ignore a dobider that turns to Him sincerely. Even when you see no change around you, something is shifting within you. Your patience is growing. Your trust is being refined. Your faith is being strengthened in a way that cannot happen without this waiting, without this uncertainty, without this need to keep calling upon Allah despite not seeing immediate results. So never think your zikr is wasted. Never think it disappears. Every dew arises, every tear is counted, every moment of hope is recorded, and the response is already in motion, even if your eyes have not yet been allowed to see it, even if the outcome has not yet reached you in the way you were expecting. Hardship is something every soul tries to avoid. It weighs on the chest, clouds the mind, and makes even simple things feel heavy. When you are in the middle of it, it does not feel like it does not feel like elevation. It just feels like pain. You look around and wonder why life has become so difficult, why the one thing you do is not opening the way you hoped it would. But what if that hardship is not pushing you down? What if it is actually raising you up in a way that comfort never could? Because ease has a way of making a person forget. When everything is going smoothly, the heart becomes relaxed, sometimes even careless. You may still remember Allah, but the intensity, the urgency, the deep dependence is not the same. Hardship, on the other hand, wakes something inside you. It shakes you out of that comfort and brings you face to face with your need for Allah in a way that is undeniable. And in that state, your connection changes, your dua becomes deeper, your reliance becomes stronger. You begin to turn to Allah not just out of routine, but out of necessity, out of sincerity, out of a place where you truly recognize that there is no one else who can ease what you are going through. Hardship also strips away illusions. It shows you what truly matters and what does not. Things you once thought were essential begin to lose their importance, and what remains is your relationship with Allah, your patience, your ability to endure and still hold on to faith even when everything feels uncertain. Every moment of difficulty carries the potential to elevate your rank in ways that you cannot measure. Sins are forgiven, siulu are raised, and your heart is being purified through experiences that are shaping you into someone stronger, more aware, and more connected than before. And sometimes, the hardship itself is a form of protection. You may be kept away from something you desperately wanted, but within that fever tune is a hidden mercy. Allah sees outcomes that you cannot see, and He blocks certain paths not to restrict you, but to guide you towards something that will not harm your akira or your peace. There is also a go-on that is built within you through hardship, a resilience that does not come from easy days. You begin to realize that you can survive more than you thought, that with Allah's help you can stand, even when things feel like they are falling apart. That strength stays with you, shaping how you face future challenges, making you less fragile and more grounded in your trust in Allah. Hardship is not just something you go through, it is something that transforms you. It reshapes your being, your priorities, your understanding of life itself. And although it may feel heavy now, it is carrying within it a purpose that is lifting you, step by step, closer to a level of faith and closeness to Allah that could not have been reached without the very struggle you are experiencing right now. There are times when life does not unfold the way you imagined. You make plans, you set expectations, you see a clear picture in your mind of how things should go, and then reality moves in a completely different direction. It can leave you feeling confused, even disappointed, wondering why things are not aligning the way you thought they would. But what you have to understand is that your understanding is limited, while Allah's knowledge is complete. You are seeing a small piece of the story, a single moment in time, while Allah sees the entire picture, from what has already passed to what is yet to come. What looks like a setback to you may actually be a EU step towards something far greater, something you cannot yet comprehend. You plan based on what you want, but Allah plans based on what is best. And those two are not always the same. There are things you desire with all your heart, believing they will bring you happiness. But Allah knows the outcome of those things. He knows what they could lead to, how they could affect your faith, your peace, your future. So when something does not happen the way you hoped, it is not because your plan failed, it is because Allah's plan is taking precedence. And His plan is never random, it is never careless. It is built on perfect wisdom, perfect timing, and perfect knowledge of who you are and what you truly need. Even the things that seem confusing, even the paths that feel uncertain, are part of a design that is unfolding with precision. There are moments when you may not understand why a door closed, why a relationship changed, why an opportunity slipped away. It can feel like loss. It can feel like something has been taken from you. But in reality, it may be something harmful being removed from your path, something that could have caused you pain in ways you cannot even imagine right now. And sometimes, what Allah has written for you is simply bigger than what you asked for. But to reach that bigger outcome, you have to go through a different route, one that may not make sense in the moment. That route may include delays, detours, and unexpected turns, but each part of it is carrying you closer to something that is more aligned with your true benefit. Trusting Allah's plan does not mean you will always feel comfortable. It does not mean you will always understand what is happening. It means you accept that even when you do not see the wisdom, it is still there. It means you move forward with the belief that Allah is guiding your life in a way that is better than anything you could have arranged for yourself. Because at the end of the day, your vision is limited to what you can see, but Allah's vision encompasses what is hidden, what is coming, and what is beyond this life. And when you begin to internalize that, you start to let go of the need to control everything, and instead you learn to trust that whatever is unfolding, no matter how unclear it feels right now, is part of a plan that is far greater than your understanding. Hope is one of the most powerful things a believer can hold on to, especially when everything around them feels uncertain. There are moments when your situation may not change, when your zayin seems delayed, when doors remain closed, and fadido ahead looks unclear. And in those moments, the easiest thing to lose is hope. But hope in Allah is never wasted. It is never misplaced. It is never something that returns empty. Because when you place your hope in people, it can break. When you place your hope in outcomes, it can disappoint. But when your hope is in Allah, it is anchored in the one whose dozo has no limits, whose atemu has no boundaries, and whose yutauza never fails. Even when you do not see results, your hope is doing something within you. It keeps your heart alive. It prevents you from falling into despair. It gives you the strength to keep going, to keep making dua, to keep believing that what is coming can still be good, even if the present moment feels heavy. And Allah responds to that hope, not always in the way you expect, not always in the timing you desire, but always in a way that carries wisdom and benefit. Because Allah does not ignore a heart that expects good from Him. A believer who continues to hope even after disappointment is showing a level of trust that is deeply beloved. Sometimes hope is the only thing you have left. When everything else feels like it is slipping away, when answers are not clear, when your strength feels low, hope becomes your connection to Allah. It becomes the quiet beacon that keeps you standing even when you feel like giving up. And that hope is not blind, it is built on knowing who Allah is. Knowing that He is Al-Rahman, the most merciful. Knowing that He is Al-Hakim, the most wise. Knowing that He is capable of changing any situation in a moment, of opening doors that seemed permanently closed, of bringing ease from places you never expected. There will be times when your hope is tested, when waiting becomes long and bidudue are not visible. But that does not mean your hope is being ignored. It means your hope is being refined, strengthened, and elevated to a level where it is no longer dependent on immediate change, but rooted in complete trust in Allah. Because hope in Allah is not just about expecting a specific outcome. It is about believing that whatever Allah chooses for you will ultimately be good, even if you cannot see it right now, even if it does not match what you originally wanted, even if the path feels difficult. And when you hold on to that kind of hope, when you refuse to let go of your trust in Allah, no matter how things appear, you are holding on to something that will never fail you, something that will carry you through uncertainty, through hardship, and through every moment where your heart needs reassurance that what lies ahead is still filled with mercy, purpose, and unseen goodness waiting to unfold. There are moments in life when everything feels unclear, when the path ahead seems hidden, and the answers you are searching for do not come. You try to make sense of your situation. You overthink every possibility. You question every delay, and still, clarity does not arrive the way you hoped it would. In those moments, you begin to realize how limited your understanding really is. You can only judge based on what you see, what you feel, and what you have experienced so far. But life is not just what is visible. There are layers of reality, outcomes, and consequences that exist beyond your perception, beyond your ability to fully grasp. And this is where a deeper realization begins to form, that not knowing everything is not a bidu, it is part of being human. You were never meant to carry the knowledge of the unseen. You were never meant to understand every reason behind every delay, every donmi, every closed door. That level of knowledge belongs only to Allah. Because if you were given full understanding of everything, you would be overwhelmed. You would see things you are not ready to handle, outcomes that would burden your heart, and realities that could shake your peace. So Allah, in His mercy, limits what you know, revealing only what is necessary, only what you are able to handle at the moment. There is a goan of peace that comes when you stop trying to figure everything out and start accepting that some things are meant to remain unseen for now. Not because they have no meaning, but because their meaning will only become clear at the right time. And until that time comes, your role is not to understand everything, your role is to trust. Trust does not require full clarity. It requires belief in the one who has full clarity. It requires letting go of the constant need to analyze every situation and instead resting in the certainty that Allah's knowledge is complete, precise, and never mistaken. And even in your confusion, even in your moments of doubt, you are still being guided. You may not see the full path, but you are being led step by step. Each experience, each delay, each unexpected turn is part of a journey that is unfolding exactly as it is meant to. Sometimes the answers you are searching for are not meant to come now. They are meant to come later. When you look back and finally connect the pieces, when you see how what once confused you actually protected you, redirected you, or prepared you for something greater than what you could have imagined at the time. Until then, there is strength in accepting that you do not have to understand everything to move forward. There is comfort in knowing that the one who controls everything understands it completely, and that his knowledge is guiding your life in ways that go far beyond what your mind can currently comprehend. There are times when your heart feels heavy, when burdens press down on your chest, when it seems like every step forward is met with resistance and every effort is met with delay. In those moments, it is natural to question whether anyone sees your struggle, whether anyone cares, or whether Allah has turned away from you. You begin to feel invisible, as if your pain is unnoticed and your prayers have gone unheard. But the truth you must hold on to is that Allah never forgets you, not for a single moment. Even when the world seems silent, even when those around you fail to recognize your struggle, Allah is fully aware of every heartbeat, every sigh, every tear that falls quietly in the night. He sees what you cannot see, He knows what you cannot know, and His attention never wavers from the one who turns to Him sincerely. Your trials are not ignored, your patience is not overlooked. Every difficulty you endure, every hardship you face is noted, counted, and weighed in ways that benefit you, even if you do not see the immediate outcome. Allah's attention is constant, precise, and infinitely wise. What may feel like abandonment is often preparation, a shaping of your character, your faith, and your resilience in ways that will only reveal themselves in time. And sometimes, the reason it feels like you are forgotten is because Allah is giving you space to grow, space to reflect, space to develop a reliance on Him that goes beyond superficial faith. When everything is easy, it is simple to say you trust Allah. But true reliance is forged in moments of challenge, in seasons of uncertainty, and in periods where the only support you have is your connection with Him. Even when doors close, even when prayers seem unanswered, and even when life feels heavy, the reality is that Allah is closer than you think. He is working behind the scenes, arranging circumstances, guiding people, and orchestrating outcomes that are far beyond your ability to plan. What seems like waiting is actually movement. What seems like silence is actually attentive care. And what feels like neglect is actually protection. Every tear you shed, every moment of despair, every whispered plea is known to Him. And while you may long for immediate change, His timing is perfect. What arrives at the right moment will come with completeness, with wisdom, and with blessings that are designed specifically for you. The process may feel long, and the waiting may test your patience, but nothing is wasted in the sight of Allah. Your presence in His plan is never accidental, your struggles are never meaningless, and your patience is never overlooked. Even when your heart aches, even when your mind questions, even when your soul feels weary, Allah has not forgotten you. Every hardship carries within it a purpose, every delay carries within it preparation, and every moment of waiting carries within it the quiet work of Allah shaping your life, your character, and your future in ways that only He can fully understand. Sometimes the hardest thing to grasp is the idea that even when everything seems lost, even when doors remain closed, even when the world around you is moving in ways you cannot control, Allah's mercy and presence remain constant. You may feel abandoned, unseen, and unheard, but that is only a feeling, never the reality. The truth is that Allah is closer to you than your own jugular vein, and nothing in your life escapes His knowledge or care. When life becomes heavy and burdens feel unbearable, it is easy to think that your struggles are unnoticed. You may ask yourself, why is this happening to me? Why do my prayers seem unanswered? But every challenge you face, every delay, every closed door is not evidence of forgetfulness. It is evidence of Allah's attention, His wisdom, and His perfect timing. What you perceive as absence is often His presence in ways that are unseen and beyond your comprehension. Allah's awareness is complete. He sees your heart when it is heavy. He hears your whisper when it is desperate. and He knows your needs before you even articulate them. Every tear, every silent plea, every longing for relief is recorded, treasured, and responded to in the best way possible, even if it does not arrive when or how you expect. The unseen work of Allah is constantly unfolding, shaping your life, your character, and your faith with precision and care. And while you wait, while you wonder, while you question, there is growth taking place within you. Hardship refines patience, silence strengthens trust, and delay teaches reliance. You are being prepared in ways that cannot happen through ease alone. What feels like waiting, like inactivity, like absence, is actually a season of transformation, a period where your heart is being molded and your faith is being elevated. There is a subtle beauty in the fact that Allah never abandons. Even when your mind cannot see the path, even when your heart cannot feel reassurance, His guidance is still present. Sometimes His help comes through the closure of doors you were clinging to, sometimes through circumstances that redirect you, and sometimes through tests that build strength, endurance, and deeper reliance on Him. All of it is purposeful, intentional, and filled with mercy. Every hardship, every tear, every unanswered question is a step towards something greater. Even in moments of despair, your existence in Allah's plan is deliberate, your struggles are meaningful, and His attention is constant. What you may perceive as forgetfulness is actually a form of protection, refinement, and preparation, ensuring that what comes to you is better than anything you could imagine. And when you reflect on your life, when patience has been tested and hope has been maintained, you will see that nothing was wasted, nothing overlooked, and nothing forgotten. Allah's presence has been there all along, working silently, guiding carefully, and responding with wisdom beyond what the heart or mind can fully understand. As we bring this reminder to a close, remember this truth with every fiber of your being: Allah has not forgotten you. Every tear, every struggle, every unanswered prayer, every moment of waiting, none of it is lost. What feels like silence is His perfect wisdom at work, shaping you, refining you, and preparing you for a mercy far greater than you can imagine. Your tests are not signs of neglect, they are signs of attention. Your delays are not denials, they are preparation. Your hardships are not punishments, they are elevation. And your hope is never wasted, because hope anchored in Allah is a light that never dims, a rope that never breaks, and a guide that never fails. Hold on to that hope. Trust in His timing. Keep your heart connected to Him, even when the path seems unclear, because Allah is closer than you think, more aware than you realize, and more merciful than you can comprehend. The struggles you face today are not the end. They are the beginning of a deeper reliance, a stronger faith, and a life fully aligned with His perfect wisdom and infinite love. So stand firm, continue to pray, continue to trust, continue to hope. Your story is not forgotten, your journey is not unnoticed, and Allah's mercy is already moving toward you, even before you can see it.